You're in the meeting. The boss says, "We need this done by Friday." You nod. You know it's going to take 3 days. You say, "I'll get it done." And then you do something that feels honest but isn't. You build in a backup step, something you don't document, just in case. Because if you don't, someone else might get the credit. That's sandbagging. That's leverage without manipulation. That's fraud wrapped in a system. The moment you do it, you're not building something that can be handed off. You're building something that depends on you. The system breaks when you leave. When you're gone, you don't just lose value, you destroy the trust that could have made you indispensable for a different reason. That's how people get stuck. That's how they stay needed, by being necessary, not by making everyone else better. This is Work Yourself Out of a Job, the show about building systems that make you redundant. I'm Mikey, and today we're talking about leverage without manipulation. What it means to build real systems that last, that can be passed on, that don't rely on secrets or control or dependency. You don't build trust by hiding your work. You build it by making sure everyone else can do it better than you. The core idea of this lesson is honest leverage. It's not about being powerful at someone else's expense. It's about building systems that actually improve things and doing it in a way that makes people want to keep working with you, not because they're afraid of you, but because they see the value you bring. Real leverage comes from documenting everything, from making your work portable, from letting others take over without losing anything. If someone can step in and run your process like it was their own, that's real leverage. That's what makes you indispensable, not for keeping everyone else from doing it, but for creating something better, faster, cheaper. That means systematizing your work. Start with the core value of your role, not just any part of the job, the part that matters most to the organization. Figure out how that thing gets done, then write it down. Every step. The inputs, the outputs, the decisions, everything. Test it. You run it by others, make sure it works when someone else does it, document it again, and then create a handoff plan. A checklist of all the things you do so another person could just pick up and run with it. If you don't document it, that's sandbagging. If you inflate your receipts, if you make it seem like you did more than you actually did, that's bluffing. And if you pretend you have an alternative when you really don't, that's also fraud. The line between real leverage and manipulation is honesty. And it's not just about what you say, but how you measure what you build. The key metric here is portability. How easily can someone else take your system and run it without you? How much value do they lose if you don't show up? If your answer is none, then your leverage is real. If your answer is everything, then you built a dependency, and that's the trap. You have to be honest with yourself. Ask, what happens if I stop doing this? If the answer is nothing, you've built manipulation. If the answer is that things still work better, that's leverage. The real test of your system is not how much you're needed, but how much more the organization can do when it's not just you. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you have to be real. You have to document everything, measure everything, and let others see what you're building, not so they can steal your ideas, but so they can improve on them. That's why the ethics check matters. You must never fake a receipt or bluff an alternative. If you do, the system breaks when someone else looks into it. And if you keep sandbagging, you're not just making yourself necessary, you're making yourself replaceable only in name. That's not leverage, that's a liability. This isn't about becoming irrelevant. It's about becoming valuable beyond your own work. If you build systems that make people better at their jobs and that everyone can do without you, then you've created leverage that outlasts you. You're no longer just doing the job, you're building the future of the job. So document it, measure it, hand it off, and trust that when you're done, someone else will be better than you were at what you built. That's the only kind of power that lasts. That's work yourself out of a job. If this one earned its time, the full system is inside the course at learn.mikey.ai. I'm Mikey. Go build something you can walk away from and still be needed.